Imagine for a second that you could just fire your entire creative agency.
Oh, wow.
Like you cancel your expensive studio rental, you completely put away all your high-end cameras.
Right. It sounds totally absurd when you say it out loud.
It does. But what if I told you that a totally flat, frankly boring PDF text document.
Like your standard brand style guide.
Yeah, exactly. What if that holds enough data to generate a massive world-class advertising campaign by lunchtime?
Honestly, it is entirely possible right now.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is exploring that exact transformation. We're taking a standard brand visual style guide, and we're going to turn it into practical, high-quality product and lifestyle visuals.
Yeah, we're basically unpacking an entire digital agency workflow.
Right. We're going to master a specific prompt system, pick the right AI tools, and finally build an organized visual library.
Handing it directly to you.
Exactly. But before we can start building this rich visual world, we really have to consult the blueprint.
You need the absolute source of truth.
Right. You can't just start throwing paint at a canvas and hope for the best.
So true. You absolutely cannot skip this first phase.
Okay, so let's unpack this blueprint. Everything starts with the brand visual style guide.
Yeah, before you even think about writing a single prompt, you have to extract the underlying DNA from your guide.
So what exactly are we pulling out of that document? Like, let's get specific.
There are 8 crucial elements you need to copy over.
Okay.
First, you need the brand mood. Then, the target audience.
Yeah.
The precise color palette,
Mm.
the lighting direction. You also need the background direction.
Right, that makes sense.
And then the product photography style, the lifestyle imagery direction, and finally, your core design do's and don'ts.
It's kind of like packing your bags before a massive trip.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
These specific details help the AI fully understand the brand's exact climate before it creates the image.
Yeah, you're establishing the weather system of your brand.
I like that.
Think about it. If your brand mood is, moody and cinematic, the AI fundamentally needs to know that.
Because it dictates the depth of the shadows, the harshness of the contrast.
Exactly. It changes the entire rendering process. And your color palette keeps the output anchored.
Yeah.
If you don't feed the AI your precise hex codes, it just guesses based on what looks nice.
And we definitely don't want it guessing.
Never. And the design do's and don'ts act as strict guardrails to keep it from wandering off.
I see why this is so foundational. But let's dig into the underlying mechanism here.
Sure.
Why exactly does skipping this blueprint step almost always lead to those painfully generic AI outputs?
Because without strict boundaries, AI models just default to the statistical average of all the images they were trained on.
Without strict boundaries, AI just defaults to an average generic image.
Right. So now that we have our brand's genetic code, we decide the form it takes today.
Yeah, what kind of image do we actually need? There are 3 main visual categories to discuss.
Let's start with product visuals. These focus entirely on the item itself.
Like a stark hero shot.
Exactly. Hero shots, extreme close-up details, packaging. You're promoting a very specific physical or digital thing.
The product is the absolute star of the show.
Always. Then we have lifestyle visuals.
I always notice a fascinating psychological shift here.
How so?
Well, product shots tell you exactly what it is. Lifestyle shots tell you how it feels.
Oh, it's a brilliant distinction. Yeah, lifestyle visuals show the product existing inside a real world.
It places the isolated object into a relatable human scene.
Right, they actively help your audience imagine how the product fits into their daily life.
But it has to remain fiercely consistent with the brand mood, right?
Absolutely. The third category is social and ad visuals. This is really about designing for the medium itself.
So practical utility completely takes over here.
Yeah, you're designing an image that has a literal functional job to do.
Like a vertical TikTok ad.
Or a wide blog header. Or a swipeable Instagram carousel.
So for those, you have to leave negative space for headlines.
Explicitly, you must keep the main subject extremely clear and absolutely avoid busy backgrounds.
Because AI naturally wants to fill every single pixel with detail.
Right, and a busy background completely destroys your ad copy. The text becomes an unreadable mess.
This all sounds great in theory, but why is it so notoriously difficult to maintain brand consistency across these distinct formats?
Because shifting from a clean studio shot to a chaotic lifestyle scene introduces new visual variables that warp the core identity.
Changing contexts introduces new visual variables that dilute the brand identity.
We definitely need a precise language to control those variables.
Yeah, which brings us to the visual prompt system. Knowing what we want requires highly specific communication.
AI desperately needs structure. That's why we use a rigid 10-part prompt formula.
I gotta say, 10 parts honestly sounds like a massive headache to manage.
It is a lot to remember, but it completely removes the guesswork.
Okay, let's break down the core structure rapidly.
First is brand context. This anchors the AI with your core mood and target audience.
Got it.
Next is product or subject, basically what physically appears in the frame. Then the scene.
Like a bright studio or a messy cafe table.
Right. Fourth is composition. Is it a tight close-up, a flat lay, or maybe a dynamic diagonal layout?
I always seem to forget composition.
Most people do, but it changes the entire perspective of the shot. Fifth is lighting.
Soft daylight or high contrast shadows.
Exactly. Sixth is color palette, pulled straight from that blueprint. Seventh is texture. Glass, chrome, paper, fabric.
Wait, why is texture so critical? It seems minor compared to lighting.
Because texture fundamentally alters how the AI's rendering engine calculates light bounces. It adds massive realism.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Eighth is camera style. Is it a high-end editorial campaign? A macro shot?
Ninth is output format, square, vertical, or a wide banner.
Right. Aspect ratio matters early. And the 10th, which is absolutely vital, is negative direction.
Let's define that. Negative direction is telling the AI exactly what you do not want to see.
Precisely. Distorted hands, unreadable text, random competing logos. You have to explicitly banish them.
2-sec silence. You know, I'll admit something here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, everyone struggles with it.
It's just so incredibly easy to lose total control of an image without a rigid formula keeping you in check.
You change one single descriptive word, and suddenly the lighting is entirely different.
It's incredibly fragile. So out of curiosity, which of those 10 elements has the biggest impact on avoiding that generic AI look?
Specifying a distinct camera style paired with realistic texture instructions completely shatters that default plastic aesthetic.
Camera style and realistic textures eliminate that generic plastic aesthetic completely.
Now that we have our precise vocabulary mapped out, we need the right workshop to execute it.
Let's look at the AI tool landscape, starting with ChatGPT, specifically Plus or Pro.
ChatGPT is your main operational workspace. It's fantastic for initial prompting and generating.
Really great for high-volume output.
It's the most practical starting point. But then we have Claude Pro.
I've noticed Claude is much better at taking a massive brand PDF and actually understanding the vibe.
Yeah.
ChatGPT sometimes just rigidly regurgitates the hex codes. Why is that?
Claude just has a much more nuanced contextual understanding.
Right.
It truly excels at deep creative direction.
There's actually a brilliant tip in our sources regarding Claude design.
Oh, right. You can turn a raw text style guide into a highly polished visual slide deck.
Which is huge if you need to present your brand vision to an entire team.
It makes the abstract text deeply visual.
What about Gemini?
Google AI Pro is fantastic if your workflow is deeply embedded inside the Google ecosystem.
And then there are the highly specialized niche tools.
These are your precision instruments. Adobe Firefly is absolutely amazing for generative fill.
Meaning AI adding missing parts to an image seamlessly.
Exactly. It blends perfectly. Then there's Canva's Magic Media for layouts.
And Leonardo.AI for stylized or high-fashion visuals.
CArt.ai gives you deep art direction control.
Ideogram.ai is incredible for actual readable text, right?
Oh, absolutely. And Recraft is perfect for generating highly scalable vector icons.
It feels exactly like treating different AIs like specialized camera lenses.
You pick the specific lens for the specific job. Just remember to check their commercial usage rules.
How should you balance using an all-in-one tool like ChatGPT with specialized tools like Ideogram?
You use the general tool for rapid ideation and volume, then switch to specialized tools for precise graphical execution.
General tools handle initial volume, while specialized tools manage exact graphical execution. Sponsor.
With our tools selected, we're finally getting into the actual 6-step workflow.
Step 1. Pull the visual direction.
We go right back to the style guide, copy the mood, the specific colors, the lighting.
Keep it immediately handy. Step 2 is defining the exact use case.
Because a tiny blog thumbnail requires a completely different composition than a vertical Instagram story.
Right. Step 3. Write the first prompt using our template. Create a type of image for brand.
Follow the style guide, output format.
Yeah.
You systematically list the product, the scene, the composition.
Step 4 is generating a small batch to carefully review the direction. Beat. Wait, I have to actively push back on this step.
Okay, why?
If I spend 20 minutes meticulously perfecting my 10-part prompt, Isn't generating a small batch just a massive waste of credits?
It's a fair question, but no.
Like, why can't we just build a custom GPT to execute it perfectly in one click?
Because AI fundamentally requires visual iteration. It's entirely unpredictable by nature.
You really can't just hit a hole in one every single time.
Rarely. AI generation isn't a vending machine, it's a conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're looking for just one or two outputs in that batch that feel close to the brand.
Which brings us to step 5, reviewing the output critically.
Ask the hard questions. Does it genuinely match the mood? Are the colors accurate?
Are there random, horribly distorted hands floating around the scene?
Yeah, you aggressively check for those weird AI artifacts. They ruin the illusion instantly.
Step 6 is refining the prompt based directly on those problems. Let's do some rapid troubleshooting.
Okay.
What if the background is just way too busy?
Ask for fewer props and demand cleaner negative space.
What if the overall color is slightly off-brand?
Restate the exact color palette in the prompt and explicitly avoid competing secondary colors.
And what if the image just looks hopelessly generic?
Add stronger brand context. Use highly specific props or a much clearer camera style. 2-sec silence.
Whoa.
Imagine generating an entire studio-quality advertising campaign from a laptop in a coffee shop.
It is a staggering amount of power to have at your fingertips.
Just a few years ago, this required a massive crew and a huge budget.
But how do you actually recognize when an image is good enough versus when you need to keep endlessly refining?
When it evokes the precise emotional tone of the brand without glaring visual errors, you stop tweaking.
Stop when the emotional tone matches and there are no obvious visual errors.
But an unorganized asset is completely useless to us. We must absolutely secure our hard work.
Yeah, we need to build a permanent brand visual library. Let's talk folder structure philosophy.
You have to systematically separate your raw assets. Don't just dump everything into a final output folder.
Never. We need specific buckets. Folder 1, product visuals. Folder 2, lifestyle visuals.
Folder 3 is social backgrounds. Separation is key here.
Right, cause a stark hero product shot is basically forever, but a trendy social background expires quickly.
Exactly. Folder 4, ad creatives. Folder 5, website banners. Folder 6, icons and illustrations.
Folder 7 is the prompt log, and folder 8 is selected final assets.
I really want to emphasize folder 7. That prompt log is absolutely crucial for long-term repeatability.
You saved the specific AI tool you used, the original prompt, the heavily refined prompt, and the best image.
Along with detailed written notes on what actually worked during generation.
It's exactly like a master chef's personal recipe book.
Yeah.
It ensures your signature dish tastes exactly the same the next time you cook it.
If you don't save the exact text prompt, you will quite literally never recreate that lighting again.
It's just gone forever into the algorithmic void.
Yep.
Why is saving the totally failed prompts in your logs sometimes just as important as saving the successful ones?
Because failed prompts explicitly highlight the specific descriptive words that cause the AI to hallucinate or break brand guidelines.
Failed prompts basically map out the exact descriptive landmines you need to avoid.
It's probably time to step back and look at the much bigger picture. Let's synthesize the big idea here.
The core takeaway from all our sources isn't really just about making beautiful images.
No, making beautiful images is incredibly easy now.
It's about creating a highly repeatable, heavily controlled operational system.
A reliable machine that scales your effort.
Yes. Your style guide acts as the foundational DNA. Your prompt formula is the precise language.
And your strict folder structure is the historical archive protecting your work.
This structured workflow allows a solo creator to effectively act as an entire, fully staffed creative agency.
To put this into immediate action, the sources lay out some fantastic practice tasks.
First, try to create 3 distinct product visuals: a stark hero shot, an extreme detail shot, and a lightly branded background.
Then, try creating 3 specific lifestyle visuals: a standard social post, a wide website banner, and an ad creative with clear text space.
Next, take just one of your best prompts and run it through 2 completely different tools.
Compare how they each uniquely handle complex lighting and physical composition.
Finally, save your best 5 to 10 assets in your newly created visual library.
Next time, we're going to take those flat-generated images and turn them into highly editable Canva designs.
Before we go, here is a lingering philosophical question for you to mull over as you start generating. If AI can perfectly replicate your brand's highly nuanced visual style in mere seconds, does the true core value of your brand shift entirely away from the visual images themselves and instead move toward the sheer speed and originality of your underlying ideas? Beat, Thanks for taking the deep dive with us. Out to your own music.